All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. What's today's topic? We're going to talk about a bunch of different ways, or a few ways, that you can unclog your shower head, because calcium buildup in a lot of areas is fairly high in the water, and it builds up real readily, fast, plugs up all these little orifices, and your shower head gets to where it's just not working as well as it should. And there's a couple very simple fixes to it. I'm going to go over them here in a minute. I'm going to let Charlie ask you the question, and then we're going to move right into an explanation.
Hey handyman, is there a way to unclog a shower head, or can you describe more than one way to do it? Because I get a lot of calcium buildup and it seems not to be coming out correctly.
Okay, now one way to do this is get a push pin or a needle and go around and open up each individual little orifice on that shower head by poking it in there, swirl it around, take it out. You can do this fairly fast and easy. Now there's a couple other methods. Let's discuss the next one. Okay, now here's another method. You can use an old toothbrush and you can scrub the outside of this all the way around. Now that's going to get a lot of the calcium buildup off of the surface of it. This isn't one of the best methods, I think, but you can scrub it and get it real clean on the outside if it's got too much of that, that calcium buildup, and clean it at least on the outside. But then you can use the needle, like I said, to clean out each individual hole. Okay, so you could do it that way too. But here's a more effective way, and it's something, that I've done and it works really well. Let me show you. Okay, now this is a really good way of doing it if you don't want to take it off, of the pipe itself, the shower head. You can fill a baggie with vinegar. You can sink it in there, soak it overnight, take it out, wash it off with water, and a lot of times that'll remove all of that calcium buildup. Now, what I do, a little bit more effective, is I actually take the shower head off that pipe up there totally, and then I soak the whole thing. So that way it definitely, the vinegar is getting from the inside out, and I soak the hell out of it, and then I turn around and I wash it off, and I screw it back on in the morning, and it cleans it out super well. It also cleans all of the calcium off of the outside and everywhere else, and it makes it pretty much new again. You put it back on there, then all those jets work perfectly fine. So you could try any one of these methods. It'll work for you, just depending on how clogged it up it is with calcium. Now, where I live, the calcium content in the water is high. I notice it like on swamp coolers and everything else, like when I do, a couple repair things around here for people, that in those trays and everything else, calcium buildup is fairly high. So I know that there's a lot of calcium in the water. Area you live in, you might not have that problem, but if you do, these are kind of quick, easy methods, to get that shower head working fine again. You can also use this same method on your kitchen faucet. Get all the calcium off it, put it back on, and your water flow is a lot better. You can go through my playlist. I have one, somewhere way in the back, where I did a couple of odd jobs for people, and they said, hey, my kitchen faucet it doesn't put out water like it used to. I didn't really charge them. I just unscrewed it real quick. I cleaned it up, cleaned it out. I told them you can always soak it in vinegar, but in their case with a scrub brush, because it's a small thing, I was able to get it all cleaned up, screw it back on real quick, and their water flow was like, wow. I go, well, it's just from calcium, and it's from like little bits of debris that get, caught up in there, and you just clean it out, and it starts working fine again. Okay, now let's switch over. Let's do questions. Okay, one of the questions is, do I know of any other fluid or liquid I can soak these things in other than vinegar? I don't. Maybe somebody can drop it in the comment below. They might know something else that you can, soak these shower heads and stuff in to remove calcium. It's just a long time ago, somebody either on the web or somewhere showed me the trick of using vinegar, and it does work real well, and it does not harm, the plastic or that material on the shower head, and it doesn't harm, that chrome plated metal, whatever it is. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if somebody drops it in a comment below, but I would go with vinegar right now. It's what I know works. The method that I used, I've done it a couple of times for people because they think that they have to replace, whether it's the kitchen sink, faucet, or the shower head. They think they have to replace it, but they really don't. A lot of times, unless they want to. Anyway, I'll take that needle or that pin and I open up each one of those little those orifices. I know it's a little bit time consuming, but it's like honing it out. but I always take it off. I always soak it overnight. It works the best all the way around. And you can do these things that I mentioned individually. It may work for you just in and of itself, but if it doesn't, unscrew it off of the pipe on your shower, soak it, clean those little orifices out with a needle. It'll work perfectly fine again, and you don't need to run out and buy a new one. That's what somebody was trying to convince a lady in the neighborhood, that, oh no, you need a new one. I can go get it for you. This is what it'll cost. And it's like, come on, I understand he's trying to probably make money or something, or maybe he just doesn't know how to, maintain these and clean them out. But, like I said, I learned this long ago. I mean, it works. I mean, that's what I can tell you. One of the questions was, well, I can always get one of those inline water filters, screw it on the pipe before I screw on the shower head. You can do that. I've seen people that do that. I don't think it looks good. I mean, to me, it looks bad. Get this big old honking filter, or even if it's a small filter, it just doesn't look right. It isn't that big of a deal, I mean, to maintain these and keep them clean. I mean, so I don't know. That's what I do on mine. If you want to try the inline filter, go ahead. I don't have any real experience using an inline water filter on a shower head, but I suppose you could try it if you want to. Okay, folks, there's not a lot of questions that I found or I ran across, when I was looking into this. So kind of a quick tip video, again, something you might want to think about or keep it in your mind going forward. I do this on my kitchen faucet periodically because it does get debris in it. You just unscrew it on mine, and I can clean it out rapidly and screw it back on. Shower head's going to take you a little bit longer. So those are my thoughts. If somebody else has another way of doing this, or a quicker way, or even a better way, let me know in the comment below. But like I said, kind of your quick tip of the day. I mean, I hope you keep it in mind, going in the future. It'll save you some trouble because you don't need to replace the fixture. All right, folks, I hope you have a great day. Click subscribe, drop me a comment like I keep saying, and let's see what your thoughts are if you have a better way. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video, or the weekend coming up. We'll figure out another how-to project or something out in the shop. You folks have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.